Yo, what's up, YouTube? Trump is back on the market and making a mess. But for us, this is a good thing. We're selling calls on Robinhood, as you guys have seen on the last couple of videos. We actually just crossed a big milestone that I'll share with you guys in a little bit here, so stick around. But we saw a big spike on Monday, given Trump was on Twitter talking about how the US is not in Iran anymore. That ended up being a lie. So, or maybe just like a white lie, but I don't care. I capitalized on it. Sold my calls here in the morning time, actually at 9 a.m. or in 10 a.m. We can actually maybe see what time I actually sold this contract. So let's go down here. And I sold this contract on the 23rd, which was yesterday at 9 a.m. So during the market open, guys, at 8:30 for me here in Central Time, it's the most volatility that you're going to see during the day. That first 1 or 2, 3 hours, it's going to dictate either if you get a good fill on your contract, if your position's opening well or not. So there's a lot of activity that happens at the morning time. So this is usually when I trade my contracts in the afternoon. You know, if we have a red day, unless there's some massive news, we won't see a reversal. But we were able to capitalize on Trump again and booked a 75% gain as of now. I'll probably close this out tomorrow. Since he'll probably go down on $2 or maybe even $3, I'll buy it back. So we're out of the trade. And if we see another big green day again, we can sell our contracts for the following week or maybe even for Friday. So we'll see how it plays out. But overall, pretty happy with this. We saw a 75% gain in just a day, and it was all due because of Trump, right? So I've told you guys this, like this market's very volatile. It wants a reason to rally though. If you see one tweet from Trump moves the market more than 2%, including SPY and the Qs, it has so much power on that. So the market wants an excuse to go back to all-time highs and get back to normal. So whenever this war's over, guys, and the US is actually out of Iran, we're going to be back in the bull market again. This is just my opinion, of course, not financial advice. But you can see how the market just kind of trades up on some random news. He just wants an excuse, guys. So you can see this kind of behavior a lot of times. Whenever we had the tariffs, that was the same way. Now we have this war. You know, whenever stuff like this happens, the market's always in uncertainty times. The market's like a forward-looking machine, right? So it's like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. Is the U.S. going to engage in World War III? Like, is this actually serious? Is this a bluff? So there's a lot of stuff going on, and the market doesn't like it. That's why we're trading down a good bit. But it doesn't matter for us. We're selling calls. We're making money on an up or down market with this strategy. So happy with these results so far. I'll share with you guys in the Excel in a couple of seconds on my other positions. So it's a little bit of a mess, I'll be honest. But let's expand a little bit here and talk about our new positions for this week. And this is all open. I could eat my words tomorrow and all of these spike and I lose my premium and I get assigned. But I don't think that'll happen. I think I'll close them out. Most of these are already 80% to 70% of profit for me. So let's talk about Meta. I sold a call with a strike of 625 and I collected 182 in premium. Google, I sold a strike of 315, collected $62 in premium. AMD, 220 strike, $78 in premium. Same strike for Amazon, $56 in premium. And our Robinhood call that we just talked about and I showed you guys for a $42 premium with the $78 strike. So something I did a little bit different this week, I was doing this over here where I have my leaps on AMD and Amazon. I'm not hiding anything. I just don't want to confuse you guys. So let's talk about my break even for these contracts. I was calculating it on Robinhood. It's actually super easy. And we can do a video on this as well, how you guys can do it. But your break even is essentially like if I were to get assigned, what does that look like, right? Am I losing money? Am I making money if I get assigned tomorrow? So these are the break evens for the contracts I had and sold on. So remember I told you about my 220 strike for Amazon. if I get assigned, I'm losing $1 per 100 shares. So I lose $100. I'm basically trade even on my contract, and I'm okay with it. So on my AMD, I would lose $200, which I'm fine, you know. So these are the worst case scenario for my contracts that I sold this week if I were to get assigned for all of them. Same thing with Meta at 624. Let's look at our strike. We sold our strike at 625. So I would actually make a little bit of money if I were to sell Meta at 625 on Friday, if it were to just rally. So my worst case scenario is actually a pretty good scenario if it were to happen. And that's because I placed my trades at the right time. I was just waited, I was patient, and I bought my positions in Meta and AMD somewhat recent, but at good prices. In my Amazon Leap, I've had for over a year now. And honestly, I should have sold already, but we're close to break even. Maybe we'll get a sign and I can get rid of that Leap and we can get some more cash through our pockets. Or Robinhood is the same way. And the Google, I have an average, I just have shares of Google, and I have an average basis of 165. So this is my little math over here. Like I mentioned, if I were to get a sign at Google at 315, that contract I sold was at a 15 delta, which is pretty low. I was being pretty conservative. I could have done a 30 delta and gone some more premium, but to be honest, I don't want to get taxed on that assignment because that would be short-term capital gains for me in that Google position. But in a couple of months, it won't. So if I ever want to get rid of my Google, I would just sell a contract with a strike and get a little bit of premium and get assigned that way. Same thing with Robinhood. I had a 7-7 strike that I sold and I ended up making this week, and this is not finalized yet. That's why I didn't want to bring the final numbers. But for this week, we're at $420. And if everything goes down again tomorrow, which it seems like it's happening, we'll be able to close out probably all of these contracts for $2 and make $410, a little bit more than last week. Last week we made 363, but overall pretty happy. And I was saying this is a big milestone for us because that puts us over $1,000 in premium earned. So let's add all of them. Yeah, that puts us at $1,158. So that's pretty good, guys. I mean, this is like week 3 of doing this, and I should actually take this more serious. But this is just fun, and whenever I see opportunity, I take it. And I certainly am not a professional by any means, but $1,100 on around 80 grand worth of capital, it's not bad, guys. That's over 1.5%. And in a market like this where everything's trading down, I'll take any premium I could. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. We'll recap this on Friday or maybe tomorrow when I close this out. But if you have any questions or if you enjoyed this content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. Thanks for being here. I want to see you guys win, and I'll see y'all soon.